All right, let me get everything set up here. All right, and if everything's working, if anybody shows up, please give me some feedback on the audio. Thanks to everyone for your patience. I took the opportunity to jump up on the roof again this morning. We had a little break between rain, and I'm hoping that I could get another layer of roof paint up there before, and then give it a chance to dry before the rain comes back. All right, so I started this one, I think, about a half an hour late, so thanks again for your patience. So each week, we attempt to focus on a YouTube channel. About a half an hour late, so all right, so it sounds like the audio is coming through. Refresh that again so we get everything here. All right, and every week we focus on one of our favorite YouTube channels, and this week we're taking a look at a channel called 2A Cops. I found this channel earlier this year, and let's see when they started. They started at the end of 2019, so they've been around for a little while. And the description of their channel says, 2A Cops is a news, opinion, and gear review website run by cops, both retired and active duty, who support the rights of private citizens to own guns, even what some people maybe see as scary guns, such as assault weapons. Cops have a unique perspective of seeing what difference a gun in the hand of an intended victim can make. That is why we strongly support the Second Amendment. This channel will host videos that are related to topics covered on the website. All right, so they have a website. Let's check that out. You can get that from the top banner of their YouTube channel, and it's sort of a blog. See, the last one was October 14th, so it's been a little while. They don't go, I guess they're not a daily thing. Let's see, our mission. Welcome to 2A Cops. You might be wondering who we are or what we're trying to do here. Our mission is pretty simple. We exist because a great many politicians and other anti-gun organizations like to use our profession as a pawn in their political attack on the right of American citizens to own firearms, a right our founding fathers guaranteed all of us when they wrote the Second Amendment. Not only do they falsely claim that law enforcement as a whole supports whatever their proposed gun control measure of the month is, but they also like to point to instances where cops have been murdered by someone wielding a firearm in an effort to use us as a prop. They go on and on. So then their staff is Matt, Keith, and Brandon. And this is G.I. Joe, and then Officer Hops, and DC Webb. I'm guessing that some of the guys that are on duty probably don't want to use their names or whatever, probably can't maybe. So Matt spent 25 years as a deputy sheriff. Keith is a retired sergeant from San Francisco Bay Area, 20 years SWAT veteran. So I think these are the guys that do most of the shows. And let's jump back over to the channel. So that gives us some idea of the channel. They started in October of 19. They've got 124,000 views, 1,500 subscribers, 1,500 subscribers. And it looks like their last video was posted 3 months ago. So it's not the most active channel, but when it was active, or when we had a lot of stuff happening, is when they were active. All right, so let's get back and get to what we do on this show, which is to pick the top videos of the channel. So I discovered them with their 2A Cops podcast, and I listened. Well, there's only 10 episodes, so I've listened to all of them. And let's just open those up and see if we can remember which ones they are. So it looks like most of their episodes are about a half an hour average. Some of them are 40 minutes, some of them are just 20 minutes. And they weren't trying to be the next podcasters or anything, just like their description of their channel and their website suggest. They're attempting to offer a perspective from law enforcement, from credible law enforcement, that is in opposition to the typical anti-gun rhetoric. So their videos are pretty short and to the point. Short and sweet and to the point. So we're going to look at the podcast, and those are the ones we're going to rank. But I guess before that, we'll take a look at some of these other ones. Let's see. So we've got a year ago, that must have been their first video, 3 minutes. Yes, they were illegals. And then DPMS SBR Select Fire BB Gun Awesomeness. So that sounds like a BB gun review for 16 minutes. Stupid Things Gun Grabbers Say. And this is, looks like some, let's say, commentary on news things when, people, gun grabbers said dumb things, they probably commented on it. Again, getting ready to do their channel or whatever. There's another review of a short shotgun, and then, or I guess a firearm, and then to a rally in Idaho. So just a 1-minute video on that. Let's take a quick look at that one. Idaho Gun Rights Rally. Idaho Second Amendment Alliance held a Pro-2A rally at the state capitol, Boise, to spur legislators into action on Pro-2A bills. We met with Representative Christy Zito, who's doing a wonderful job putting together pro-Second Amendment bills. Greg Pruitt, the leader of the Idaho Second Amendment Alliance, did a great job organizing this march on short notice. The goal was to show legislators that we support the Second Amendment and expect them to push forward a pro-gun agenda. So for just a minute-long video, good explanation of the situation, and what I'd like to see, actually, just a walkthrough of the event so that you can get an idea of the atmosphere and the vibe. Is that the way to say it? The type of people that are there, the diversity, I want to say, like the mix, and then the signage and the flags and stuff giving an indication of their intent or their perspective, or further perspective. The tone and stuff, having some audio is awesome. Seems like it isn't lively or jovial, but it isn't somber or oppressive either. So it seems like it was respectful. They weren't yelling and screaming or causing a ruckus, but they were there to be seen. That's awesome. Can't ask for more out of a 1 minute and 8 second video. The only thing you guys guess you could do is ask for it to be 1 minute exactly, so you can make it a short and use it on Instagram. Anyway, so they do have some other stuff besides their podcast. Then they did the podcast, 10 episodes or so, and I think they did them, it wasn't once a month, was it? It was every so often. And then here's a video they did for 11 minutes. And 4 generations of police pistols, duty pistols, that's kind of neat. One on the New York trigger, why the New York police department has such issues. Then they did a couple of these other videos. I don't know if their goal was to start making videos or what, but videos on specific things. Some of them were gun reviews, but then other ones were like this, best home defense gun, or this was a review of a survey that was done through some sort of interdepartmental, but like just police agency, like a affiliation of police officers did a survey, and they were reviewing that survey. Then, as we were having some infringements earlier this month, or like the suggestion of infringements, they offered some videos to add insight and perspective on those things, such as HR 8 and 1446, the background checks thing. And then another review was the last one they did. So let's get into the podcast then. That's the meat and potatoes of this channel. So this first one was 6 minutes long, and it was meeting the host, so we'll leave that one in there. Honestly, there's only 10 episodes, so guess what? They're all going to be in the top 10, right? So this one is Cops Pulled on Gun Control back in December of 2020. So episode 3 was in 2020, December. So they've done all 10 episodes here in the recent couple of months. Let's see. Cops Pulled on Gun Control. That's like a 40-minute episode. I guess it's pretty good. In this episode,
we're going to talk about gun control and what cops think about current gun control trends.
I think this one was pretty good, so I'm going to put that to the front for now. 80% lowers. Now this is interesting because this was back in December when it wasn't actually on the cutting board, but we'll put that one there because either they were, on the finger on the pulse, or they could just anticipate what was coming, or just coincidentally they knew what was coming.
Why would you give up a Glock for a Hellcat?
Capacity, same size gun, twice the capacity.
They did a pretty good job of the podcast, I think. They started out like that with kind of a zinger or a cut take. I don't know what that's called, when like somebody would say something during the interview and they were like, oh, I'm using that as the intro. So just funny stuff, or weird stuff taken out of context sounds interesting or whatever. So and then they had decent volume and production value, so it's a decent podcast. All right, so episode 5 was about the pistol braces. Of course, we'll bring that one up again. I guess in December 19th, pistol braces were almost on the chopping block. So they knew it was coming because I guess maybe they had heard some stuff about the ATF, or maybe there was some ATF rumors or something. It's people like John Crump who have leaks and stuff, access to leaks. Maybe we were aware of it. Maybe they were aware of it before it actually happened. But that was just imminently before the first pistol brace comment period infringement in December of last year. Wait a minute, it was December 18th, so this was the day after. So this is like once they were aware of it. But insightful, because there's going to be cops talking about pistol braces, and of course the ATF and the antis are going to suggest pistol braces are used in crimes. We know that when the antis in California petitioned the ATF to have pistol braces banned, the ATF did their own investigation in 2020, and their results in January of 2021 were that out of 4 years worth of crimes, something like 6 instances might qualify as an 80%. So it's ridiculous. Anyhow, we'll keep moving. Next up is seizure of firearms by police. And this one I think was to address, the red flag and that kind of thing. And while they can't speak for every officer, of course, so they can't know what the different jurisdictions and departments are going to require or do or whatever would do. They can offer a lot of perspective, and I thought that was another one. 27 minutes, so it's, it is what it is, but it's a decent attempt to offer a perspective from law enforcement to an issue that was on the table.
Yes.
Next, again, disobeying unlawful orders. And again, a perspective from law enforcement. Let's move that one up a little bit. That's a perspective from law enforcement on the concept of, will the police enforce an unconstitutional law? Will they go door to door and ... And this is, again, they can't speak for everybody, but they can offer their experiences, 40 years plus combined time on the clock as law enforcement in California. So epic. Basically, the only thing we've got anywhere near this, and they did a great job at it.
I think most cops have.
Here we go, red flag laws.
Red flag laws.
Another angle at basically the same issue. The government, the bureaucrats are attempting to divide, and they use any angle they can. So they try to create an angle between law enforcement and the folks that law enforcement supports and support law enforcement.
Welcome to two-way cops.
And then another one that's poignant, is that the right word? Episode 10, supporting law enforcement, or supporting the Second Amendment in light of tragedy. And this was from the point of view of the law enforcement. So after a police officer gets shot, how can you still support the Second Amendment? And it's a response to basically that question. All right, so this one isn't going to be the longest because they only have 10 episodes, and we didn't get a bunch of interaction. I guess I should have mentioned, we are doing this on the internet, and we do it with the comments right here. So we do have a new member. I should have said thanks to Joe earlier. Thanks for being a member. And the channel, being a channel member doesn't get you anything special, I guess, other than invites when I jump into an off-air chat or a private chat. I often will drop a link to the private chat if it's appropriate to the channel members. So you're welcome to jump in and chat off-air and ask questions or hang out and listen to what we talk about off-air when we chat with people. Otherwise, there's not much, we don't send out perks or gifts or anything, but eventually we will have more conversations and things that I guess I'll delete stuff and leave it for the channel members. So there's a couple of perks, but really what you're doing by being a channel member is supporting our projects. We appreciate it. We do have quite a few websites out there that just have information. We have websites that just exist, that have existed for a long time, and then websites that are actively being built, that are being grown or growing with new content, and that's really what we're helping with. So we appreciate it. We do projects like this one, series, and videos and stuff. So we're helping with that as well. So thanks for being a channel member. Let's see, Sound Anarchy was out there, and shut up too. So with that, I guess we'll end it, and we'll say thanks to two-way cops. I'll drop a link in here to their channel for being an awesome channel when we needed it, using the internet in a way that it's most useful, in my opinion, to create or to participate, to add your voice to the mix. And again, this is a voice with a perspective that has some insight that is useful and gives us a counter argument or a counterbalance, whatever, to the narrative that they're trying to push out there. You know, again, Bearcats and media and stuff would love to see police and the people that they protect and support, and the people that support them. You know, they'd love to see rifts there. There's always going to be rifts, but it's great to see things that span the divides, that act as mortar between the bricks, that keep together, glues that bind. So thanks to the channel, and thanks to the folks, the couple of guys that run the channel. I'm hoping that they post more podcasts. I'm sure that if by going over there and supporting the channel, that might encourage them to do so. As a content creator, everybody's got different goals. Just from what I remember of their stated purpose and goals and everything, their goal isn't to be the fanciest, most high production value YouTube video channel out there. But as any content creator who's putting out content, I'm sure that they appreciate some feedback and some comments and appreciation for what they're doing. So if you'd offer that, that'd be great. Otherwise, we'll be back next Friday. Let's see, what are we doing next Friday? We'll go over to the channel. And we scroll down to upcoming live stuff. Next week, we'll do the best of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Week after that, the best of Gun Freedom Radio. And then we'll be doing the best of the gun guys over at Wilson Combat. Those have been some fun ones too. So with that, thanks everybody for showing up and being part of the show. If you're watching this later, leave us some feedback. If you've watched 2A Cops, let us know. And until then, thanks for watching. We'll be back to pick you up later.